Lancer Nation, good afternoon. We are here with Paul DeRenzo, the voice of Grace College Lancer Athletics. Some of you in Lancer Nation may know Paul and his wife Donna are uprooting and moving to Virginia Beach, and we are excited for them, but we are going to miss them immensely here as well. And so Paul, we want to say thank you. So over 35 years of ministry with announcing. Tell us how it kind of got started and when you got into it.
Back in the mid-'80s, I was involved with a Christian school, and my brother was an athletic director at that Christian school. And my other brother was doing the announcing. And one year he couldn't do it. My other brother asked, would you step in and cover? And so that's how I got involved with public address announcing. And I did that for a couple years, and then God led us to Winona Lake, Grace College. And I immediately just knocked on the door of the athletic director at that time. I think it was Coach Phil Dick. And I said, hey, I would love to help out in any way I can. And so that's how it started. I worked the shot clock in '87. Jim Bowling was the scoreboard operator, and Ron Henry was the announcer. And then I kind of backed Ron up when he would need a day off or two every now and then. So I started my first full-time announcing with women's athletics, and particularly it was women's basketball. And I did that, and then Ron stepped down the next year for men's basketball, and I took that on, and then I just started adding more sports as the years went on, and new buildings and other opportunities, and it just kept growing, and technology changed, and so the announcing changed a little bit with it, but before I know it, 1 year became two became four, it became a decade, 2 decades, 35 years.
Paul, you have had a front row seat, we would consider the best seat in the house, and you've also spoken about the best seat in the house many times. But having the best seat in the house for our athletic events at Grace, what has it been like for you for so many years?
It's been a privilege. I never took it for granted. It was just neat. I mean, you know, some of the big games we had, and just the high-profile athletes, and the conference, especially for men's basketball that Grace plays in, is probably the finest men's basketball for small Christian colleges in America. And to know that we consistently brought championships out of this conference at the national level, and know they play right on our hardwood here, was pretty special. And to have that front row seat, like you said, Coach, it was dynamite. I loved it. What I tried not to do is look at it from a fan's perspective, though. We had a job to do. The moment you became a fan and you weren't working it, all of a sudden you realize, uh-oh, something's amiss here at the table. And we had probably a reputation of being one of the finest score table operations of any school. And I would say big, middle, or even large. We'd have the referees come and say, we love working Grace Athletics. You guys just really put on a decent show. And if you know anything about the intricacies of officiating and maybe scoreboard or score table management, the two really work hand in hand. And in basketball and volleyball and so forth, it really is a team out there. And I think we did a great job making the referees' job easier when they would come and do Grace home athletics.
Mm-hmm. Well, Lancer Nation, as you know, Paul and his wife Donna are moving to Virginia Beach, and we are going to miss you all. We thank you for your legacy, for the years of ministry, for the impact that you've had on so many lives, not only of people who come to the games, but our student athletes, our coaches, alumni, people who are watching. And so from us here at Grace Athletics, we wanted to present you with a plaque for 35 years of service to Grace and to the ministry of what the Lord has done in your life and through the ministry here. We appreciate all that you've done, and we're greatly going to miss you, but we look forward to you coming back and announcing a game soon. So Lancer Nation, thanks so much for your support. Paul and Donna DeRenzo, we thank them for their years of support of Grace Athletics.